Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we're returning to a Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich Edition in the Union of Britain Communist playthrough. It is early 1938 and we are vengeful for our empire, so we ultimately want to reconquer our empire. Right now we are a little bit watching the tense situation as it's developing in Europe. We are building up our army quite a little bit. We have, I would say, quite a professional army by now. It's not the most exciting template, just a 20 with infantry, with a little bit of support, and so on and so forth. One thing I would like to do is, in this civil war down here in Spain, now we've got, this is a three-way civil war, and our faction would be the CNT Fey, so these guys are the most communists, and actually I think it would be great if these guys win. If at some point France does end up in war against Germany, I don't want them to be backstabbed from down here, so I think it would be great if these guys here could win. It would also allow us to threaten Portugal a bit more, and Portugal is currently allied to our arch-enemies, the Commonwealth of Canada, so I think this would be great. So indeed, let's try to support these guys a little bit, and I'm going to try to send them some volunteers. I think 3 divisions would be great. We could actually think about sending a couple of... Yeah, let's actually send a couple of motorized divisions over here. And I think actually this gentleman here, how about you? Camouflage, I don't really care about that much. Well, both of these are pretty good. Let's try this one. Okay, this gentleman here in the army number 1, doesn't really matter how it's called. So let's send you the volunteer army of Percy Howitz. That's you. Yeah. And we're going to send you over there. That's going to be great. And then we're also going to send them a little bit of material. So I think it would be good if you could get some weaponry. You have very few. About 1,000 equipment. Yeah, that would just already be too much for you. But you know what? I think that's going to be alright. So yeah, there we go. And in terms of Navy, I'm doing a little bit of reorganization here. You can see most of these ships buzzing around a little bit. It should primarily result in an increase here in the capabilities of these ships. So we've now got 4 carriers grouped together with 4 fast battleships, 4 light cruisers and 12 destroyers. So I think that would be a very good template to follow. Some of these guys are not quite as trained up as I would like them to be, but all in all that is okay. We also do have these 2 submarines, which I guess should be a new group over here. And you guys can train up as well. And then what we've got down here is another light cruiser, and I suppose you should also join up with this fleet here, and that should be okay. Right, yeah, I think that's a good combination here. Here we might have to think about this a little bit more. We've got 2 cruisers. I think we do need some heavy ships here as well. Honestly, I'm always a little bit confused because these light cruisers are always considered to be something different from the... Yeah, I think there is the other group of a Panzerschiff in this mod, which I currently don't have. It might be worthwhile to think about that a little bit more. Well, basically these guys on the other hand are mainly, I think about them as submarine hunters, so maybe that's a little bit better to use them that way. You guys are all fine. We probably should distribute a couple of destroyers into this as well, so that we have a fairly good mix. You also would need a battleship. Okay, if you do need a battleship, let's bring in 1 battleship. You are all Nelson class? No, there's Nelson and Rodney class. Is there any difference between these 2? Doesn't look like it. No, they just seem to be mirror images. And that's always a little bit annoying when the game sort of does that sort of thing. Right, okay. You are going to join up there. That means you now have 2 battleships? No, I think you'll be joining up now. Yeah, okay. Now that looks better, so we've got 3-3. And I would 10, so probably at least 2 more. 2 more destroyers? Yeah, I think that would be great. Right, let's keep an eye on all the other things as well. We've got a couple more units here. Nope, sorry, you should be part of this army number 2. Will have to be renamed at some point. We have very low manpower, insufficient resources. That's only very small effects there, so not too much to worry about. So you're very good. You have you're kind of good. Again, just a couple more, at least 2 destroyers. Is that what I said? 12? Yeah, I think 12 would be good. And we've got active sonar, so that is extremely good, because active sonar does mean that we have a very good destroyer squadron now available to us. It is 1938, early 1938. We could think about a couple of these things. Well, most importantly this year, really. And we have a bonus to that, so that is something that we definitely are going to do. Right, production. We are currently renovating a couple or refurbishing a couple of our battleships over here. I think what I would like to do is, we do have a little bit of naval experience, and something that we could do, we have all of these destroyers down here. All of these are destroyer squadrons, or are destroyer types 2, so they are a little bit outdated, all Weltkrieg light ship designs, all very different ship designs, but what I would in particular like to do is get you to be less of a fleet destroyer and more of a submarine hunter. I think we will have to confront submarines quite a bit more, so let's pack you up with anti-submarine stuff. I think all of the other things here are fine, but I do want you to have a sonar technology rather than anything else. Keeping the torpedoes is fine. I don't think we want to do an upgrade of the engine because the costs are just much more significant. That would be nice, but yeah, but on the other hand, why would we? I mean, we are hunting submarines. Doesn't need to be that much faster, I believe. Anti-air guns. It's a relatively small cost increase, but I don't think it's that worthwhile. It's just not the main target of these ships. Well, maybe anti-air. I'm the bear. It's a 10% cost increase, but it would be much better at fighting off enemy air attack. Okay, let's do that. I think that could be worthwhile. On the other hand, again, on the engines, no, that's a much more significant change, so I'm not going to do that. Batteries, likewise, I think this is really not that worthwhile to do. These guys are not supposed to fight enemy light ships. Right, yeah, I'm fairly happy with this, and let's give it the... what do we want to do for hunters? So I think... why not do this? Okay, crap, and that is good. Can we rename it? Yeah. So that is the ASW ship 1. Fine, good. So we've got this, and now what I would like to do is at least grab a couple of you guys and upgrade you into the ASW ship. Yeah. Fantastic. It's not going to take that long. We don't really have that many dockyards, but I think that's still a very good change that we can use to build up. Right, our divisions have arrived over here. Of course, they are not in the best shape for fighting in mountainous terrain, but I think it would be great just to get a couple of guys here that can move up a little bit faster. We're going to try to move up into this area around here, Bilbao here, bolster the defenses there. I think that should win us the day pretty handily, and indeed it does. Now you are attacking all over the place there. I think our most promising avenue of attack would be simply to do something like this. Is it attacking across the river, so it's not going to be that great, but there are a lot of people fighting here. This is a single division. Ooh, Guatemala is being declared war upon. And it would cut off at least a couple of these guys here, which are also in very deep entrenchments due to these fortifications. And hopefully we can right away advance further onto the Bilbao area over there. That would be great indeed. Right, so far so good. This does... it's a very slow push across the river, really. Especially due to our guys not really being that built up for that. Dominionist victory in South Africa. After a contentious election which has divided the Union of South Africa in two, the Dominion Party, led by General John Christian Smuts, has declared victory. Though with the slimmest of margins and the country's parliament, voting in South Africa is restricted mainly to whites, split between the Afrikaners in the north and the British in the south. With the British vehemently supporting Smuts, they were able to achieve victory. Unrest in the Afrikaner areas is on the rise, yada yada yada, okay. But they are still part of the Entente, so very much of our enemies for now. We are being attacked over here, but that should be won pretty handily. And then we are getting over there, and indeed we are able to achieve the encirclement. They do have a lot more organization than we do. That is a bit concerning. So we have about 60, and these guys have... I don't see why they have so much more, probably because of the organizational failures of this guy. Mobilized industry, done as a national focus, very nice. We are working towards our next research slot, and gaining a little bit of military technology in the meantime. More divisions over here, that is certainly appreciated. So all of that is good. Could change up the government. We have conscription, all of that is okay. We could think about the new aircraft designer. Industrial concern, again, this is not really that great. Oh, the small ships. I wonder what would have happened if I had done that before I created the variant. Is it only due to variant? All equipment researched while they are hired. Well, let's keep that in mind before we research anything else. Again, in terms of tanks, I don't think there's that much that we do need to do because we don't really have medium tanks. So for now we might actually hold off on any of these. And maybe be more prepared to enter war really fast, should the need arise. Okay, I think we're definitely winning this war, or this fight at least. Yep, we are. That is nice. Are these guys already withdrawing? No, they're just reshuffling their troops there. So let's... Oh! I was supposed to say let's wait a while over here, but if we can quickly capture Bilbao, the city, that is also very lovely. Good. These guys have obviously done their duty over here. This is mountainous terrain. I'm not gonna support an attack there. So what I instead might want to do is simply try to exploit this and create a little bit more chaos here in the back of the lines. Because again, this is mountains, also fortifications, so not something that I would really like to attack into too much. Right, this is a little bit ahead of time, so it's maybe not yet worthwhile to do this, but on the other hand, just getting better equipment that's such a big improvement, so I'm always very tempted to research this, even if it's ahead of time. On the other hand, we will also try to get this. It would be 100 days. When is the next sort of research coming through? 80 days. Okay, let's... But this is so much more important. Okay, let's get this. It's ahead of time. It's a little bit inefficient, but you know what? I think that's fine. And let's look at our logistics situation. We are a little bit short of naval fighters and carrier fighters. Very short on motorized equipment. But I think just some carrier bombers here would be doing us a little bit of good. So let's try to do it like this. That should be fine. We are missing some equipment, but I don't think it's too drastic. 10%. I'm gonna accept that for now. Right, all of our guys are now over here, defending against this brave gentleman's attack on Bilbao. Okay, let's wait a second here, and you don't need to move. Let's get you over here, and you into Lyon. I think that should be fairly nice. Yeah, there we go. We've got further divisions over here now, so let's try to circle around like here towards their capital actually. You can try to defend over here. I'm not sure why you're not winning this fight. You are defending in the mountains, so I think that should be good. Okay, let's not go this way then. Let's go this way so that we can encircle this guy, isolate him a little bit more. And then he'll be in much more trouble once his attack has finished. Should be fairly nice. Let's get down here. So he should be out of supplies now. The fall of Burgos! Ha! So we did manage to capture that. Reports from Burgos confirm the Carlos' temporary capital has been captured by advancing anarcho-Spanish troops. Nah, it's us. After skirmishes in the hilly countrysides, Carlos' forces put up stiff resistance, hoping to delay the enemy forces, but were eventually beaten back. Castellanian fleeing north to the Basque coast tearfully described seeing their homeland burning and the CNT Fey soldiers even committing atrocities on their own people. Rumors state King Javier was escorted out with a flow of refugees by Carlos' militia, but his destination remains unknown. Many hope Carlos' Spain might continue fighting in the Central Plateau to defend their homes from the crush of this syndicalist invasion. Very good advance over here. I very much appreciate that. Let's just try to grab more territory here. Extend the front lines. I think that's all very good. You really... I don't think it's worthwhile attacking over there. Even if you are out of supply, you probably are a little bit stronger than us. So maybe it's simply better to grab a couple of victory points. 2 over here. On the other hand, maybe the most important thing is to capture terrain over here. This is again mountainous terrain. Mountains, this is hills. So we could attack here, but it would probably be not that efficient. Okay, let's try to advance a little bit. You guys are coming there. You'll be hopefully able to overrun these guys. And this is again hilly terrain, so what I would really like to do is attack into here. You are guarding the capital, or former capital there. You are advancing onto this position. That's okay though. You're now being attacked. Let's try to cut off this mountain division. Oh, okay, that's too much. Right. Right then, let's focus on the stuff over here. Get a little bit of a good front line up in the meantime. Okay, you can withdraw, please. You are already over here, that's good. So now everyone is over here. Everyone but the weakest do attack over there. Can you support this attack? I think we might be winning. They are bringing reinforcements though. But so are our forces. Bogus has fallen again. Japan announces ambitions. So yeah, they are a little bit more historical, I believe, in this playthrough. It's a little bit funny how after World War I they were the only non-loser nation that was so resentful and really wanted to, you know, pay back. That's not quite true. Italy did the same. We further unassigned divisions. You are part of this mechanized army. That's okay. Low manpower, insufficient resources, aluminium. We have a little bit of political power stored up, but again, for now I don't think we need it. Most importantly, this down here. Okay, great. We are now being attacked from 2 sides, but I think we will be winning this. Hopefully. They are very strong. They're very eager. Oh, our army experience. I think we should do a little bit since we are now gaining army experience. Let's edit the motorized division. I think some support artillery would be great. Potentially even some engineering battalions. Let's add this to our template over here. And for our normal line infantry, I think some field hospitals would be good. Oop. Also, we do have some free civilian factories. Let's keep that in mind. I think we desperately do need a little bit more fuel, so let's build more synthetic refineries. It's not that this ultimately can be our only answer, but I do want to keep on building this. Yeah, it's simply a requirement. But also, let's at least not forget about military factories as well. And you know what? Let's just, in case I forget, which never ever happens, let's also build up more just so that the queue is full here. Right, everything else should be fine over there, and I think that's great. Let's take a look at the production and the refurbishment of these submarines. Sorry, of the submarine hunters rather. Yeah, we are committing a couple of things, but I think in July really. So very soon all of these guys here will be finished, and then these guys I think we're about to finish in about 10 days or so after that. So that should be fairly good. All right. Situation here has calmed down, at least a little bit. They are attacking burghers, which is very good for us, of course. Let's grab at least one of these gentlemen here with the highest organization, try to support this attack on burghers. We're also being attacked over here. On the other hand, this part here seems to hold. So that's nice to see. Burghers has been captured, so we don't actually need to advance into there. And we have two decisions to make. Let's start off with this one. Herbert George Wells has just presented before the Republican institution plans for the compilation of a constantly growing and changing world encyclopedia to be reviewed by outstanding authorities and made accessible to every human being. Do you want to spread this? A lot of people would like us a little bit more, or do we just want to get the political power? I think the political power... well... okay, let's spread it. The Anglo-Indian Trade Agreement. A most interesting proposal has just been wired to the officials in the Foreign Office by our consulate staff in Calcutta. In the midst of increasing worrying development in the other Indian successor states to the imperialist Raj, our good friends and proletarian brothers in the British Commune are proposing a final economic deal to strengthen the backbone of the otherwise wobbly government with technical and industrial advisors from our British Union. In exchange, the working men of Britain will receive a steady supply of bananas, tea and other exotic goods, while his benevolent government grants access to vital resources such as rubber. R.H. Tarney, a seasoned politician with solid socialist credentials and good connections within the Congress cadres, awaits our acceptance. No, I think we will be trading. Okay, it seems good, especially if it's between socialist brothers. Right, so we want to help bob this little enclave. Don't really want to attack into these mountains with my motorized troops, so probably no on that one, but we might come up here and just clear these hills. Uruguay wins the World Cup. I don't care about football. Here we go. 95% should be good. Ooh, you are wounded. That's not that great, but you will be around later on. I think you don't have any... yeah, well, you're gaining a little bit of experience. And your troops... well, not quite as much, but... the World Encyclopedia. Yes, we know. Okay, that's a decision. And we've got our negotiators reported back that the Indian government wishes to conclude a treaty regarding facilitation of British naval aid development in exchange for access to great amount of the vast wealth of India. Anxiously waiting. Do we want to go for this, which grants consumer goods factories to them? No to us. Consumer goods factory minus 10%. That's huge. For 100 political power? That means instead of 21 production, we are gonna get... how much? Or 20 right now? Yeah! Lovely. Nearly 30. 29. That granted us 9 civilian factories. That's great. That's a good outcome. Okay, being attacked over here, that's good. Let them exhaust themselves by attacking us rather than the other way around. You are now attacking into here. It's also nice, they have captured this, so that means all of these guys here will be bobbed once they have lost. We are contributing to that, so that's great. Good result over here, I believe. Fairly good outcome. So the next thing I think is just come over here and drive basically due west. Okay, so just try to arrive over here. I think one of you gentlemen can try to get here, and one of you potentially has to guard this breakthrough. More unassigned divisions? Yes, all of them motorized divisions. I think that's the only ones that we are currently building up, so a big surprise there. Right, good so far. Details military industry in Cornwall. That means we can now start working on our new slot. That's great and fairly fantastic for us. You guys are doing this, and I think soon they might actually give up, because I don't know how many victory points they still possess actually. You need to come back here to defend against the attack there. I don't think you'll be able to successfully kick us out there. La Coruña should fall fairly soon. There we go. Good stuff. I suppose we can capture the airfield. Now they're... yeah, they can't have any victory points remaining, so I think that should be great. Cuba has joined the Reichspakt, not that good. I think that's where we are getting quite a bit of our stuff from. And Ireland has joined the Entente, damn it! I had kind of hoped to maybe grab Ireland early. So that means now one of our most important enemies is just across the Irish Sea here. And that means we will be sending a couple of airplanes. Do we have good coverage of over here? I suppose not. Well, a little bit at least. Send a couple of airplanes there and I think that should be good. You guys, okay, at least try to support this defense. Yeah, that's okay. You know what, you will be succeeding there anyway, so let's just try to grab some territory here. And that's obviously pointless. Okay, let's make the job of the AI here a little bit easier. If it has a shorter front line, it's typically a little bit better for the AI. Good, and we can support this attack here as well. Things here are okay. Oh, we have some free military factories. We still need a lot of motorized equipment, so I'm going to continue to shift resources into that. I think that's going to be okay. How are we otherwise looking in terms of logistics? We are a little bit short of supply equipment now, so that is also probably something that we want to expand our production into. Let's actually prioritize that, and I think that should be okay, like that. Good. We do need a little bit more aluminium. Let's buy that. Rubber I'm not too concerned with right now. Good. More units, that's always great. Also means we are even shorter on supply needs. Good, on motorized equipment. You're doing your thing there, that's great. You're supporting this attack. It's also okay. I'd really like to win here so that we can Kaiserschützen, so there is support from, I think, Austria actually. It looks a little bit like the Austrian flag rather than the German one. Okay, let's try to get over there. Is that a victory point province? Yes it is. So if we win over here, they should be pretty much out of victory points entirely. Who's defending over here? Carlos, Spain. We have delay, that's good. Elastic defense. Tanks, we don't really have tanks right now, so this is maybe not the highest priority. Let's think about what else we do need. This would be good. 83 days is also very, very reasonable. We are getting huge benefits to researching these things due to our friends. Radar would be good for our navies in particular. This would be a huge win, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably what we want to do then. Yeah. Okay, let's try to research this. Right, and you should fall fairly soon. Come on. There we go. August 1938. There we go. All of you guys are now done for. So that means we should probably... Ooh. Yeah, let's shift down here. Most of you guys are more or less out of organization, so what we're going to do is just bring you here very quickly. And just leave this over here a little bit open. Ooh, war on Greece. Hellenic Republic. Interesting. Right, okay, you probably want to get over here. Right. Let's give you a second. Come up over here so that we are making sure that these guys here are not cut off. It is mountains. But there we go. Good defensive action there. You guys can even come down here to Valencia, or at least try to do that. I suppose they will have some garrison there. And indeed they do. And indeed it's too well dug in for us to really make any credible threat there. So all of this is mountains? No, there are hills over here, there, and over here. Right, then let's come back over here. Regain a little bit of organization. Yeah, and I think the Carlists just surrendered. Well, we really want to support these guys down here, but I'm not sure we can. Well, if they are being pushed out over here, we might try to gain the upper hand there and just try to kick them back this way into Valencia. Is it really credible though? We have about 100 attack, they have more than that easily. Okay, so that's a no. So let's wait, regain a little bit of organization. I think it would be ideal to support these guys, but I'm not sure we can. Oh, free dockyards. So interestingly enough, all of our submarine actions, our anti-submarine hunters, rather have rebuilt themselves. So that's nice. Can we see that down here? Yeah, these guys are now up to the new standard compared to these guys. So let's just briefly compare them. Same speed. Our guys have slightly lower light attack, but depth charging capabilities is much higher as is sub detection. Sub detection is really great on these guys now. Yeah, very much appreciate that. It's a good refit. I think it's a fairly good refit. So what have we got down here? A lot of different sort of capabilities. Let's grab all of these guys, the S-class, for no other reason than they are the first ones that I can grab. Just start the rebuilding process. I think what we might actually want to do is we might actually want to ask for a little bit of oil from one of our trade partners that we are building up a stockpile, because I'm not sure just how long this stuff is going to last. American Union State, no. I think Venezuela is going to be the better trading partner here. Grab a little bit of oil, start to convert that, should give us a bit more, and that should be okay. Also, we want to probably check on our navy. Who is training currently? You guys are, you don't really need to. Let's merge you up into the other submarine group. What else have we got down here? We've got a fast battleship. That's great actually, because I think we are missing one. Wait a minute, what standard are you? You are number 5th. Type 5. You here are type 4, so you are gonna join back up to the battle cruisers. Yeah, I think that's nice. You haven't really been training up, the destroyers really haven't been training up, but that's okay. So I think what we might want to do then is grab these guys here that are a little bit older. And the Essex class. You guys forming a new group. You go ahead, train. Very good. Okay, great. Right, that being said, I think this is a very good place to put in a cut. So, we are nearing the end of 1938, and I think tensions are increasing, especially down here in Spain. We might see whether we can do a little bit more over here. I would really love to support these guys. And I think we have done quite a good job already in establishing this up here, although it's increasing the front line of the AI a little bit. Still, now it has, I think, a fairly good front line established, and we just need to make sure that they're not breaking through over here. Let's take a very brief look on the American Civil War. Syndicalists are, I think, easily winning, so I don't think we'll need to support them. Indeed, we might want to take them over at some point. War in the Levant. Ottoman Empire is not doing anything. And a little bit of fighting in the Dutch East Indies. It looks like the Dutch East Indies are winning. And there is a little bit of fight here in between the Hellenic Socialist Republic and Greece proper. I would really like to support you, but I don't think we can send any volunteers. Could start a land and lease agreement of at least a little bit of these rifles. But again, I don't think that's something that we do need to do right now. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.